Hey guys, welcome to my channel, Vintage Goddess. I'm here to do a divine counterpart reading for you today. First, just a few housekeeping things. So I'm just starting out. I'm not doing personal readings. So you know how the YouTube tarot community can be. It's a little, you have people out there scamming, so please don't get scammed. I don't do personal readings. And if you should feel generous and you would like to donate to my channel, that information is in the description. Thank you in advance. So let's get started. So I am going to be using the Lightseer's Tarot by Chris Ann. It's a beautiful deck. I love it. I've already shuffled the cards and all that great stuff. My style of reading, I am an intuitive reader. And I just let the divine give me the messages. So I don't go in asking anything in specific. I just kind of tell the story. So let's get started. I hope everybody's having a good day so far. It's living in some challenging times. Okay, so we have the Page of Cups. The Page of Cups. So somebody out there is thinking of you, daydreaming about potentially what could have been, what should have been, what could be. Their head's in the clouds. Yeah. They're thinking of you as the Queen of Cups. And maybe there was a situation where they didn't see your worth, your caring, your kindness, your openness in the beginning, but they are seeing it now. They are seeing it now, most definitely. The Queen of Cups is sometimes can be... No, I'm not going to say that. I'm going to say over emotional. So we have the Five of Swords. So in this dynamic, there may have been some people squawking in your person's ear, giving their opinions where their opinions weren't really necessarily needed or wanted, but your person listened to this. And I feel like they're regretting some things that happened in the past. Also, this is a card of I'm not going to say the word that I want to say, so I'm going to say foolishness. This person may have purposely self-sabotaged this connection with this Queen of Cups. And again, is now looking back on that whole situation, being like, what the hell did I do? We have the King of Cups. The King of Cups can... First of all, we have counterparts here. The King and Queen of Cups. But the King of Cups has a tendency to feel deeply about an individual, but they can be very stoic on the outside. Like, they don't necessarily show their emotions. They're not necessarily as open as the Queen of Cups in allowing their emotions to flow. So this person, over the time that you were interacting with each other, could have felt very deeply for you, could have been like deeply in love with you, but they had a they had a strange way of showing it. They did sabotage this connection by doing various things, listening to other people. They could have been combative and, you know, just not open with their emotions at all. We have the Queen of Wands here. This person saw you as someone that was magnetic, fiery, like a go-getter. Like you set a goal and you attain that goal, you know? And we have the Two of Cups here. So the two of you in a perfect world should have come together in a union. But again, we've got the Five of Swords here, which is self-sabotage. So this person may not have been emotionally mature enough to handle you at that time, and may have created scenarios in their mind in reasons as to why they couldn't go forward with your connection. They really didn't feel like they were on your level. All right, we have the Nine of Swords here. So somebody's going through the dark night of the soul now. Again, I get this energy. You see these crows. Birds are messengers. And in this situation, this person, it seems like this person is looking back on this connection, looking back at what happened and regretting every second of it. And it's almost like all they can hear are like the things they said. You know, they're regretting the things that they may have said, not necessarily, well, yes, the actions, but also the things that they said. So this person may have said some not so kind things to you. They definitely didn't treat you like you deserve to be treated. And it was all out of fear. So this person is going through a dark night of the soul right now. They're Nine of Swords, sleepless nights. They're thinking about you. They're dreaming about you. That's a lot. I'm not gonna take that. That's confusing. As always, guys, you know, take what resonates. Please don't sit through a whole reading and it doesn't feel right. Like, go ahead and click off. I'm not in the least bit offended. Ace of Pentacles. So this for me represents a grounded offer. Again, going back to this Page of Cups, who is thinking about this cup that you may have attempted to hand them and they rejected. Thinking about, they're trying to figure out what is the best way to approach you. Surely they've grown. Let's hope they've grown. And they're trying to manifest you. So they may be trying to manifest communication from you. I'm not here to tell you what to do with that. If you feel called to contact them, contact them. Like for me in my situation, I did, oops, I'm sorry, let me hit the camera. I did a ton of, I made a ton of contact. So for me, I feel as if I need to sit back. I need to focus on me in this point in time and not like, I'm concerned with me right now. But this is also a new grounded beginning. So this person could also be attempting to manifest a new beginning with you. I mean, if I were going to put myself in that person's shoes, it would be about how do I get back to this individual and what would be the best way to communicate with them, because right now they're not communicating with you. Right now, again, we have these beautiful crows here. And these crows are tying these strings around this person. This person is creating this blockage. They're not trapped, but they're creating this self-imposed prison right now Their throat chakra may be blocked. Again, I feel like so much happened that they don't really know how in the world you would ever receive them again. How would you be open with them again? And they also know that some of them they have to face some tough questions when they come back too. Knight of Wands. Yeah, they were very flighty. They were very in and out. They had passion for you one minute, but they'd get close to you and get scared and run. They were like an unbridled horse, a wild Mustang. I don't know if any of you've ever had the pleasure of seeing horses in the wild, but I haven't. But I imagine it's one of the most beautiful things. Like, you want to get close to it, but you can't because they're afraid of you and they don't trust you. And so this person coming back knows that they have to earn your trust. They know that they can't come in unbalanced and unsure. That's not going to bode well for them at all. There are things that they may have been very sneaky, things that you didn't know, things that maybe you found out they should have told you and they didn't tell you. They may have lied to you, they may have deceived you. Also, this card can represent, things going on behind the scenes that may not necessarily be good or bad. You just don't know about them. So you most certainly probably don't know how this person truly feels about you. They care enough about you to want you back in their life and to sit and ponder and think, and lose sleep over how in the world do I show up balanced and solid and approach this Queen of Wands when, for so long, I'm a knight right now. Or they feel like they're like knight right now. They may not feel like they have things in place. Like, for me, sometimes in order for me to move forward in anything, sometimes in my mind I have a certain order of how I would like things to go, and that ends up holding me back for I don't know how long, until I realize that no, I don't need to have these specific steps in order. All I need to do is take the step. Like, you are, to this individual, you are the 10 of Pentacles. Like, if we're talking divine masculine, divine feminine, divine masculines have a tendency to, how do I say this? They want grounded stability, and they naturally, want to provide that grounded stability, that safe space for their feminines, divine feminines. But sometimes, we get that, sometimes they think about the material and the wrong things. Yes, we need to be grounded. Yes, we need to heal, but they don't see how it's possible for the two of you to build and create together. They want to come to you with finances, for example. They want to come to you with a good job, for example. They want to come to you and show you that they are capable of providing for you. But so, like, we have the eight of swords here. That's potentially what's holding back this communication and this movement forward as well. They're not quite realizing yet that the name of the game is to be the power couple and build together. You know, this king of cups, his heart chakra and his crown, they're both illuminated. And by coming together with this queen of cups who's open to her emotions and therefore capable of shifting emotional energy, the two of them are capable of producing this 10 of Pentacles, that you don't need to necessarily come in with material things. Like, you need to have a certain mindset, yes, but the material stuff doesn't matter here. But they definitely know that for them, you are the perfect picture of this house, this home. You know, when they think of their ideal partner, like, you are that. Their throat chakra is just blocked right now, and they again don't know how to move forward. They're trying to find balance. And who knows? See, like, there goes my throat chakra. Who knows? Well, I don't know. Some of you may know what your divine counterpart is going through right now. And again, let me say that, like, if you're new here, there's no gender in tarot. I'm simply using it for the sake of describing these cards. We all have masculine and feminine energy within. They don't quite know the steps. They don't know how to approach you. I know for me personally, it's been a long time. Like, my person sent me a text maybe like last week, and then, like, I didn't hear anything after that, and I didn't expect to. I'm sorry. I didn't expect to. You know, I was just, grateful that they thought enough about me to say, hey, how are you? I was thinking about you. So we have now the King of Swords. The King of Swords has a tendency to live in logic. He operates head over heart. But at the same time, I read the King of Swords as being capable of making a sound decision. So he's looking at the situation from a logical standpoint, which, if you are on any divine counterpart journey, you're on a twin flame journey, you know that you cannot, even if you're just like going through a spiritual awakening, you know that you cannot look at this from a logical standpoint. You won't be able to find the logic in it. And it's almost like his brow kind of looks furrowed. Like he kind of looks he looks like he's in thought. He looks like he's thinking. But if you notice, when it comes to the divine masculine, what is the word that I'm looking for? The crows show up consistently. And finally, in this particular card, the crow is not squawking in his ear or circling his head and causing him confusion. Again, birds are messengers. So the divine has been trying to give your person this message for I don't know how long, okay? They've been tying them up in strings, trying to force them to look at it, and your person put a blindfold on. They were over here squawking, like trying to warn your person that like what they're about to do or what they're involved in is not where they need to be. They did it anyway. It's constant noise, in their ears. They're not sleeping at night. They're dreaming about you. They're not moving. But for me, with this King of Swords card, this is like a sign of maybe they're starting to see it. Maybe they're starting to gain wisdom. We have an owl here. Owls are signs of wisdom. The star. The star represents hope. The star represents divine timing. So if your person, if you are worried about this situation, I'm gonna say don't, which is, I've been there, which is easier said than done. I feel like the divine, and I know, because if you are a high priestess, you are intuitively tapped in. So one thing that's difficult about those of us that follow our intuition and we get these messages, sometimes we think that we have the capability of like moving the situation along, because we know what's going to happen anyway. So we just kind of try to give them the nudge that they need. And it's like, no, they have to go through this journey on their own. And that's a mistake that I myself made. Instead of giving this space for this journey to unfold like it's supposed to, and just being open to the fact that, or being open to knowing that the divine spirit, source, God had a person that they created for me specifically. This person is going to come into my life, and just holding that intention instead of being hyper focused on a person. It doesn't mean that it's not the person that you think it is. It just means that you got to release a little bit. You got to take your hands off of it so that the divine can do what the divine needs to do. You can't be tethered to the outcome, tethered to the situation, because then you get your energy mixed into it and it causes more problems than anything. It's not helping. Like, you mind your business and do what you need to do for you. And I have to often tell myself, you can't mind the business of the divine. The divine allows you to know certain things, but you don't get to know everything. I heard a saying once, and it's one of my favorites, and I don't remember where it came from, but this person said, my arms are too short to box with God. I'm not finna take up that battle. That's not my battle to take. My battle, my responsibility is to make sure that I'm healed and I'm doing the work that I need to do for me, so that when it's time for us to come together, we can produce this 10 of Pentacles. Because Lord knows I'm ready to be abundant financially. I'm ready. So yeah, so divine timing is at play here. We have the star. So, ooh, if you're resonating with this reading, please give me a like, maybe even a follow. Comment below, let me know. I like to hear from you. All right, so your person either has gone into hermit, or they are coming out of hermit. It almost looks like they've been going through this point in time where they've really been reflecting on their life, on the choices that they've made. The Three of Wands here, it feels like, let me get another card before I see this. It feels like we're back to timing. Their wands are represent Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. And if you know a fire sign, especially Aries, I'm an Aries sign, we are very action oriented. So this person may be wanting to take action, wanting to move. wanting to move towards this Four of Wands here. And it's no coincidence that it's consecutive. Like, these are the steps. Once this person comes out of Hermit and they finally received all of the messages that the divine has been trying to give them with, you know, these crows, the ravens squawking, like how loud do they have to squawk and yell before this person turns around and is like, you know what, let me stop sabotaging myself. But they're currently in this, the divine has them in this hermit mode here. These are major arcanas. So this is the hand of the divine right here. The divine has your person in a hermit mode. And to me, I get the feeling of like wanting to run, but being on a leash and waiting for someone to take you off the leash. Or a lot of times I use the analogy of, I think it's analogy is the right word, of a bow and arrow, and having that bow drawn back and that tension. It's that tension in the bow that shoots you forward, but you can't release the bow before it's time. And so once in this hermit mode, that person, your person's going to get the direction or the information that they need from the divine, and they're going to know exactly what to do. They're going to know exactly what to say, because in gold is this Four of Wands, which also represents a marriage or a higher level commitment. They want to come to you with a commitment of some sort, but they have to wait for the right time. The timing has to be right. There's nothing more important than timing. Like, timing is, even with other situations in my life, like things that, good things that recently happened for me. Like, I found myself receiving a contract or a job that many people, you know, including myself, I'm sorry about that, I shook the camera, including myself, kind of thought that like, wow, this should have been given to me years ago. But I had to take a step back and say, no, you know, it's time now. The time is now. Like, the door is open now. And this timing is better than my timing, because this timing is the divine timing, which will allow me to be the most abundant and most successful in what I'm going into. Six of Wands, yeah. You know, just what I said. It's about being successful. Don't attempt to manipulate divine timing. I know it's hard, because I've been there, I lived it, I'm still living it. I miss my person so much. But I finally reached the point where I feel like I'm surrendering to divine timing. In that, I know that any other timing other than the divines, things may not work. And I'm not trying to come back into the presence of my person just to be torn away from it because it was premature. It was premature in the first place. Page of Cups. You know, this person came in, okay, you know, they may be younger than you, but this person came in as a page. They were not prepared for the level of intimacy that you had to provide. And to look at you and see in you everything that they don't have in themselves, or to feel like they see in you everything that they don't have in themselves, you reflected their flaws back to them. And this is a situation that's vice versa, because divine counterparts have a tendency to reflect each other, to reflect those things back to ourselves that we need to heal. And you know, it freaked them out. They didn't know what to do, because the last thing they wanted was for you to see them like this. So they snuck away. They snuck away. I hope, if nothing else, that this is giving you guys a little bit of perspective. I feel like this is, the Seven of Cups represents having choices. Multiple choices. And before I touch on this, I'm gonna attempt to get a few more cards because I want to be able to read the energy around this. I'm gonna be able. Oh, I'm so sorry. I keep hitting the camera. I'm so sorry. Okay, well, your person is being, or your connection is being set up for success, right? They're potentially looking back. Again, I get this energy of recapping, right? What happened in the past, and they're looking at the choices that they're making or that they have made. They're also looking at the differences between the people, places, and things that they chose over you. And not in the sense, and I don't mean for anyone to be offended by that statement. It's that they looked at the choices that they had, knowing or feeling that you were an empress, that you were special, and feeling like they had nothing to offer you. And so they made choices based on that thought process, that I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough to be in the presence of this person. So let me make a logical choice. Head over heart choice that makes sense to me. And all of these choices ultimately brought them back around to the fact that they want to work with you. They want to build with the Empress. They want to share abundance with you. They want to weave the tapestry of life with you. And sometimes we have to experience these other things to know what we don't want. Because knowing what you don't want will ultimately lead you to what you want. Point blank, period. Knowing what you don't want is just as important, if not more important, than knowing what you want out of life. So this person is looking back and saying, okay, you know, what about this? How did I miss this? How did I miss all of this? And we were all, divine counterparts are often thrown into situations where, again, it does not, the connection itself is bigger than us. as individuals. There's there's probably nothing. Like, if you could go back in time, even if you did redo things, it would probably end in the same way because it had to. It had to end that way. Your person. Okay, so this 10 represents an ending. This person is humbled. This person only has the things that they have on their back, and they're traveling with those things. And they're using the burden of these wands to light their way forward. So the divine is humbling your person, and they're likely going to come in with a small message. Test the waters. See where you are. See if it's safe. See if it's safe to even come around you, because again, the foolery that took place, they're ashamed of that. They don't know if you've fully forgiven them for that, because to be honest, they probably wouldn't forgive themselves. But if and when this message comes in, know that there's an intense amount of love underneath it. So it may be small, it may be a hey, how are you, or I was thinking about you and thought I'd reach out, and then you may not hear from them for months, but know that with you is where they want to be. You represent their 10 of Pentacles. You are where they feel fulfilled. You are a gift from Divine. And they want to work on this. Again, going back to the how in the world do I do this? So we have the Hangman here. The Divine has allowed them to become enlightened, to see the situation and everything that happened in a whole new perspective. And I think that you are being called to do this as well. Purposely put yourself in the Hangman and see their perspective. This does not say that you come out of your Empress energy. This is not saying that you get off your throne. This is not saying that you stop being this Queen of Wands here. This is allowing yourself to find perspective in the situation so that you can look at the situation I'm about to say the same thing that I just said before, but that's not what I meant to say. So that with that perspective will allow you to have a certain level of forgiveness and understanding. it helps you stay in this Empress energy. You take the things that are given to you, good, bad, ugly, and different, and you transmute them into something beautiful. I'm purposely choosing not to look at this card as stagnation. Okay? Which, to hear that someone, it's a pause. Like, the Hangman card is about taking pause, taking time out. And I did a reading earlier today that was just about, you know, the current energy that we're going through. And it's been an energy of pause. But don't make the mistake of thinking that pause means stagnation, means that things aren't moving. Because these thoughts, these things, they're keeping your person up at night. And there's only so much of this that a person can take. That pause means that the divine is working. They're working to bring forth something that the both of you are likely trying to manifest here. But we have to submit and surrender to timing. It's on the divine's time. Right now, I feel like I can confidently say that you're mirroring each other. So if you're feeling called to go within, like for me, I've been feeling this intense pull towards like consistently meditating every morning. Do what you're guided to do. Because when you're centered and you're grounded in the divine, you're not going to make the wrong choice. You know, a lot of you, and I've been there, a lot of you, because of the things that happened in the past, and like when I say they showed out, they showed out, okay? This Five of Swords was on 10,000, like completely unnecessary stuff. And you may be so angry with this person that you don't know if you can trust them, if they can be trusted, if you can let them back in, or if you even want to. Some of you may be like, I don't ever want to hear from this person again, and yet you're probably still here watching this even though you're saying that. A lot of times we have a tendency to say that, but our subconscious, our soul knows something completely different, and we are fighting that. So I believe this Hangman card is telling us, along with the Hermit, to be still and allow these things to come to you. Be open. This person is open and exposed. Be open to receiving the truth that you ultimately probably been wanting to know. Like, why? Why the foolery? Why this? Why the running? If you feel so deeply about me, why did this happen? And a lot of those answers lie in finding perspective and being willing to sit with what you feel, being willing to sit with what happened and look at it objectively. I am going to leave that where it is. I hope you found this helpful. Like I said, I think this is really, the divine is asking us to have perspective at this moment and to receive that perspective. take one more. I'm being guided to take one more. I love this card. High Priestess. You know what this is. You know what this is. This card represents using your intuition. This card also represents things that are hidden from you. And they have to be hidden from you, because if you knew everything, you would likely mess it up. Again, there's a scripture in the Bible that states, and I'm not sure where it is. Maybe some of you have heard it before, but I'm going to paraphrase, where it states, even if I told you everything that I had for you, that I was about to do for you in your life, you wouldn't believe it. And that lack of belief is going to muck up your manifestation. That lack of belief is going to mess all of this up. Even if you're not a divine counterpart, even if you're just trying to manifest harmonious love in your life, if you knew everything, you wouldn't believe it. And that lack of belief, that scarcity mindset, would just mess everything up. Scarcity mindset. This is about scarcity mindset. We are not allowed to know everything. And what we need to do, even outside of the realm of love in our lives, we just need to surrender. Surrender to the divine. Let everything fall in place. I know it's hard. I know it's not easy. Especially when it comes to things that are so near and dear to you, like career, finances, loved ones. You, as a spiritual being walking this earth, you embody a certain level of power, but you don't have the power of the divine. If any entity, anyone, anything can do it, the divine can. And so we're just being asked to believe, and be okay with not knowing everything. That's my puppy barking. It's time to go. So I hope you enjoyed this reading. Like, follow, comment below. Let me know what you're going through. Let me know if it resonated. Hope you guys have a great day. Bye-bye.